Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Cameron. I know it again has been forever since I've posted a video, but that is why I'm here today. You saw the title of this video, you know what it's going to be about, but before I hop into the main topic, I just want to congratulate all of you watching this video who have gotten into UF. I know I've made a lot of videos about UF over the years, and because of that, I've gained a pretty strong following with students who either go to UF or really aspire to one day be a student here. So through the last few years, I've gotten tons of comments about applications, test scores, high school, and everything in between. So I know just how hard all of you guys were working towards your goals, so if you did get into UF, congratulations. In this video, I want to talk about the different factors that really made me decide to come to UF. I did get into several schools, so I had a big decision to make, similar to how I'm sure the situation is for all of you. Your college decision is one of the biggest decisions you will probably ever make in your life, other than who you're going to marry, and really, I can't think of anything else. So in this video, I'm going to break my decision into 4 different factors on why I decided to attend the University of Florida. Now, obviously, there are certain personal aspects involved in each of these factors that, directly related to me, but I really wanted this video to be pretty general and be applicable to anyone who is in the situation, who got into the University of Florida and is weighing their options. So with this all being said, let's get into the first reason, and that is probably the most obvious out of the students who are applying now, and that is UF's respected academics. Now, we constantly hear about it in the news, and I'm sure with anyone you know who goes to UF, we are constantly bragging about that number 6 ranking as far as US top public schools. Now, obviously, that's pretty specific. US public schools, not private, and all the schools in the nation, but that is still a very impressive statistic, and that is definitely something that we at the University of Florida take pride for. And back when I got into the University of Florida, it was when we first broke into the top 10, and they actually became number 9 right before I decided to attend. Now, obviously, the academics kind of depends on what you want to study. There are certain schools within the University of Florida that are better than others, so this is definitely something to consider. For myself and for a lot of my audience, I'm sure we are business majors, or we want to go down the path of business, and UF's undergraduate business program is really strong. Now, I'm not going to say it's one of the best in the nation as far as top public schools. You'd have to look at Indiana University, Kelley School of Business, my brother at the University of Texas, shout out to you. But still, the University of Florida has a very well-respected undergraduate business program, and obviously it's the University of Florida, everyone knows the school, so that obviously is just a huge advantage. In addition to this, the current trend of just UF in general is just getting harder and harder to get into, so think about how UF might be ranked now compared to when you decide to leave college 4 years from now and join the workforce, and just think about how much more well-respected it'll be by then. Because at the end of the day, you go to college not just to have fun, but also to be able to get yourself in a position to get a strong job. And so for myself with the University of Florida, I knew that it was just a household name. No matter where you are in the United States, everyone has heard of UF. And really in recent years, the academics and just the overall reputation of UF as an academic school really has improved drastically. So that's the first and probably the main reason that anyone kind of decides to go to UF, and that is the respected academics. Now, the second reason I decided on UF is just its good sports programs. Now, I myself am not a D1 athlete, but I certainly enjoy watching the games, and UF really is one of the best schools in the nation as far as their overall athletic program. Every single year, we are very competitive in football, as well as basketball, and even kind of the more obscure sports, we are still always ranked in the top 25, which blows my mind. This year, I know we're top 5 or something in baseball, expected to win the national championship. And I have a lot of friends on the track team, the lacrosse team, swimming team. I mean, UF really just does it all. This is also one of the reasons that, most of the nation knows about UF is because of our athletic history. But for myself, I just personally really enjoy watching sports, whether it's football or basketball, and I knew that UF would provide me plenty of experiences to cheer on the Gators. This kind of is related to the third factor that I'm going to talk about next, but UF is in the SEC, which means that we take football very seriously. And while I have been to, some Big Ten schools on football game days, and I know it's really big there too, I don't think anyone really takes football as seriously as the SEC. When it's not COVID times and people are able to roam about freely, Gainesville is just, it's crazy. You wake up in the morning on a Saturday and it just feels like Christmas Day. You can feel the excitement in the air. Everyone is so excited to watch the Gators play. And if you're in a fraternity, it is a fantastic day. But even if not, you just have so much to look forward to, and that is really just something unique to really SEC schools. I feel like that just have that culture, and that is something that UF definitely brings to the table. Now for the third factor, I sort of alluded to it in that second reason, but it is that UF has a really good Greek life. So for myself in high school, I kind of made the decision that I wanted to join Greek life when I was in college. My dad was in a fraternity and he was always telling me about how much fun he had, and it didn't even really seem like a decision to me. I just, assumed that I would go on to be in a fraternity. And so because of this, when I found out that UF had a really strong Greek life, it really just helped solidify my decision. Now, I know Greek lives kind of differ based on where you are in the nation, but like I said before, UF is an SEC school, so that means there's kind of like a long-standing tradition of, Greek life. All of the fraternities on campus have been here for years. For myself personally, my fraternity, Pi Kappa Alpha, started at UF in 1904, so, you can do the math, that's 117 years of history, of alumni, of connections, and it really is just awesome to be a part of something like that. Aside from, the alumni network, also being in Greek life just provides a lot more opportunity for social interaction. Obviously, the parties are a lot of fun. And like I said before, the tailgates at the houses on game days are insane. So I knew that, by joining Greek life, I would, be getting the full college experience and kind of getting that experience that, you might see in movies and you grow up thinking that college is like. But there are a lot of other aspects of being in a fraternity other than just, the alumni and the parties. Here at UF, the Greek life has a pretty strong control on the campus. Student government here at UF is very powerful, and student government is pretty much run by students who are involved in Greek life and who want to keep Greek life, on campus. So having Greek life kind of be involved with student government is really good, just because obviously student government looks great on resume, so it's easier to get involved in a lot of organizations when you're in Greek life and you know more people. At the end of the day, it's not a be-all, end-all. If you're not involved in Greek life, it is not the end of the world. That was just something that I saw as a big advantage for going to UF. I know for myself personally, a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten in college are thanks to my involvement in my fraternity and just connections through that. I really do kind of believe there is just a butterfly effect and a compounding effect of, just meeting one person, leads you down this path, and it's kind of just gotten me to where I am today. So that is the third reason I decided on UF, and that is the strong Greek life on campus. Now, the fourth and final reason on why I myself decided to go to UF is something that I'm sure a lot of you watching can relate to, and that is the complete advantage you have as a Florida student with bright futures. For myself to attend the University of Florida, I actually have all tuition paid for, which is huge. Because of my performance in high school as far as my GPA, my test scores go, I ranked in the highest tier of Florida Bright Futures, which means that all of my tuition is paid for. So really the only expense I have for attending the University of Florida is housing, as well as, fraternity dues and miscellaneous things along the way. To not have to pay for tuition is just such an advantage, and it will just be so great to be able to graduate from college without, taking on a lot of student debt, which I know is a huge concern for a lot of Americans when deciding whether or not to go to college. This is really one of the reasons why UF has been able to move up in the rankings in recent years, is because they've been able to retain the Florida talent, the smart kids from the Florida schools, because they're offering them, full ride tuition to the University of Florida. In my own high school, I know my valedictorian my senior year, she went to UF, as well as, all of the other really high performing students. And in my brother's class this last year, it seemed like half of the top 10 all decided to come to UF. So that's really just a sign that UF is doing a good job of retaining those students in Florida and keeping them in Florida. And because they're deciding to come to UF, their test scores, their GPAs are being averaged into the overall ranking, which then results in the ranking going up even more. So for myself, the financials were a huge aspect of deciding on the University of Florida. But at the same time, if you're not from Florida, or even if you don't qualify for all of the bright futures, UF still is reasonably affordable compared to other state schools. UF does bring in a lot of people from the Northeast. I have a lot of friends from Long Island and New York and New Jersey, and that is because UF really is pretty affordable compared to some of the other public schools. And then obviously, like I said before, when you take into consideration that UF is a better academic school than all of them, it just makes sense. But for me, really the financial aspect of it was kind of the biggest factor in why I decided to come to UF, just because it pretty much made it a no-brainer that I'd be able to go and have the full college experience without paying for any tuition. Now, obviously, I'm very fortunate that, I put in that work in high school that allowed me to be in this situation today. So if you perhaps didn't apply for Bright Futures, or for whatever reason you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. There are still so many other alternatives out there to, pay for your college. And I really do think that even if you are paying full price, full tuition, it's not the end of the world. You are certainly getting your money's worth. And that is kind of just proven by how many out-of-state students UF brings in and retains. So that's going to wrap up the video. Obviously, there were, other factors that made me decide to come to UF, but I felt that these were the 4 best reasons that would apply to pretty much anyone watching this video. In addition to these reasons, I think the University of Florida campus actually is just extremely beautiful, and the red brick buildings really just gives you that, really just makes you feel like you are at college, which I know, is pretty obvious, but I think a lot of schools these days are kind of just modernizing the way things look, or they were just built in the wrong era of construction. So the University of Florida, walking through campus, you really feel like you're on a college campus, and that is just something I myself really do appreciate. So those were the 4 reasons why I decided to come to UF. Again, the 4 reasons are: first, respected academics; second, good athletic program; third, strong Greek life; and finally, number 4, the financials. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I haven't made any videos in quite some time, but I have some interesting developments happening in my life, so I plan on bringing you guys more content these next couple of months. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.